say too much, but after Mike's message last Sunday, I felt like even though my testimony is not the greatest testimony that ever, I felt like I should say something. And since I feel like y'all are my family here, ever since I got here on my first visit, I thought I'd share a little bit. Before I was saved, and I can't really tell you specifically when that was because my memory's scattered, but I'll try to remember what I can. I grew up in church, and of course, when you live in the Bible Belt, that's kind of, church is a natural thing. And I grew up in Milledgeville, Georgia. I went to Freedom Church, I loved that church, by the way. It's still on my heart, and I still think about the people there. And the head pastor there was absolutely brilliant. God rest his soul. But yeah, I had a pretty decent childhood. It wasn't always the best. I grew up a very lonely child. In school, I was bullied a lot and made fun of. And while it didn't always bother me, I got very depressed a lot. And there was one point where I was even suicidal. And I usually don't talk about my past because it's difficult to I usually just try to stay in the present, but I had literally no friends. Like, kids wouldn't even really talk to me that much. They really wouldn't give me the time of day. And if that's not bad enough, I had and still have a learning disability and a slight bit of autism. And I'm not saying that to say that's a bad thing, okay? It's just, it doesn't help. But yeah, I never had a lot of people supporting me except for my family. And I've always been a very weird, eccentric kind of individual. And I haven't always embraced that, but now I have, and I'm cool with it. But yeah, there were times where I would get beat up. I would get kicked and hurt, and not just physically, but emotionally. And I was never happy during those times. And it was around 6th grade when I did start making friends. Those friends never stayed, but high school is when I made like the bulk of my friends and really started meeting people and really started finding people that actually stayed and actually wanted to be my friend despite how odd and strange I was. It also helped me to become who I am as being nerdy, and all this stuff helped me develop, the interest that I have now. And I've always had the mentality that because of my background and what happened to me, I always wanted to be that friend to everyone. Everyone who had no friends and really had no one. I wanted to be that friend because that's how I was. I never formed a lot of the southern traits and the whole racist and all this other nonsense. I've always wanted to be kind and loving to everyone around me. And that could have gone south quickly. I could have been the bully, and given my size and that I could have been the biggest bully you've ever seen. And I'm really glad my life never went down that path. But yeah, besides, I had a really loving family. When my parents divorced, I had a difficult time, but you know, I got through with that, and you know, that's how life is sometimes. But I really, like I said, through high school, I really grew and developed into the wonderful person that I am now. And I want no credit for me at all. I don't want y'all to think, you know, I did all this on my own. God gets all the glory for this. Every single bit of it. Because without Him, I don't think I would be as nice as I am now. So I am completely humble, even though Mike and Ryan can tell you there are a couple times I act arrogant.
Arrogant. Not really.
Well, I mean, anyway, but I am the most humble individual, and God gets all the glory for everything good that has happened. And so yeah, as I grew up, I just started to accept myself more and more about being weird and odd and just strange, and I made all these friends, some which I'm still in contact with, and some that, you know, because life happened, you know, but I've lost a few friends over time. One incident, I'm not going to say who specifically I'm talking about, but it was very painful. It's a situation I've never been able to resolve, but I just have kind of gotten over that and just kind of moved on, because I learned that I can't help it if people don't like me. If I've done nothing wrong to anybody and they don't like me, then that's not my problem anymore. Like, I'll be the first one to apologize if I've ever done anything wrong to anybody. But so I've had to learn. I learned through life just to kind of have that attitude and kind of accept people's criticisms, and you know, and just be okay with it. Be okay with who I am, and so I've always had that thing about I've always wanted to be accepted. And now that, you know, people that do meet me, they realize what a good person I really am, and they have accepted me. And from day one coming here, I felt that love, I felt that acceptance. Even Rick Regal, when he was here, said, "We can't kick him out." You know, ever since meeting Mike and Ryan and the rest of our group, and meeting Christian, and everyone I've met has been so loving and accepting of me. I thank you guys so much. I know that and Ryan and Mike can attest to this. I know I can be difficult at times, and I know that, you know, y'all have put up with some stuff that, you know, but I just want to thank you guys so much for just loving and accepting me, and just not, you know, putting me on this big pedestal, because I am flawed. I am a flawed individual. I have a lot of things going on right now, issues that I need to work on myself, personal issues that, you know, are still affecting me that I need to work on. I told Mike about this, but I don't really want to get into detail. But, so I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to be the best individual that I can be. And I want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support, because you guys are awesome, and I cannot see myself being in any other church here. Thank you.
Amen.
Jesus said to his disciples, "They will know you are my disciple because of your love for one another." And when I think of Beau, that's what I think of. When I started here and really got to know Beau, we had another gentleman coming who was a lot of problems. His name was Joe, for those of you who were here at the time. And Beau always was patient and loving towards Joe. And Joe was not a lovable person. But the love of God was shed abroad in our hearts. And Beau is such a good character as far as showing that. So Beau, we're so glad you're part of our family. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Patty? It is time for our offerings, ladies and gentlemen. And while you're collecting those, were there any praise reports or prayer requests this morning? Yes, Joe.
It's not a praise.
I think you need to turn it on the mic. Is the light green or red? Okay.
Here you are.
Go ahead and use it. There you are.
There you have it. Okay. Something happened at work. I was cleaning up the dining room and on one of my things I have to do, and the activities director was talking to one of the residents about the movie Risen, and she was thinking about getting it and showing it at work. And I heard her say, but after I watched it, I'm not too sure that the rest of, the residents would like that, because what that guy did on the cross, I was chuckling. She says, I don't think, I can put the residents through that. And I thought, I said to her, Kristen, some of us know what he went through, but there's a lot of people that didn't know what he did for us. So you need to think about it. And she kind of apologized, and but I bet it won't be shown.